Hi, my name is Emma. This is going to be my meso and macro cycle for my 18-year-old female soccer player. I will start off by saying I'm not a tech person, so I had a little bit of difficult time doing this template. And I do have my dogs in the background as well if you hear any of that. I will be explaining my template to you. Let me share my... Oh, what happened? Okay. I will be sharing my template with you right now. So we are going to start with first what is on here and what it is. So we have our yearly calendar, and then we have our macro cycle and mesocycle. So everything is color coded with each season, so it's better understanding of dates, times, periods, everything like that. We have our 5 different mesocycles. So we have first is postseason. It is the first 2 weeks is going to be active recovery and fitness, basic movement patterns like light running, mobility, intro to lifting, reintroduce low load strength work, and restore movement quality. And then those last 16 weeks is going to be base strength and strength, which is you're building your foundational strength into stability, rebuilding aerobic base, improving your squat, and all of the types of forms and techniques that you do for lifting. And then off season, the first 6 weeks, you have your hypertrophy and muscular endurance, which is muscle mass, increased lean tissue, increased strength, moderate heavy lifting, heavy resistance training to improve force production. And then the last 7 weeks is max strength sesh. You're including soccer as well. And you are beginning to involve plyometrics. You're doing the Man United test, the beep test, all of those cardio tests that you need to be fit for the preseason and season. Then we have the preseason, which is only 2 weeks, a very short time period for you to slam in all of that conditioning, all of that fitness, your peak power and conditioning, which is high intensity soccer conditioning, sprint work, low volume, aerobic and anaerobic fitness testing, and then your 1 rep max, which depends on how heavy you are lifting. And then in season, we have 13 weeks, which is conditioning, recovery, nutrition, injury prevention. So we are doing practices, games, soccer fitness, drills, scrimmaging. And then on the nutrition side of things, you have your hydration, carb strategy, mobility working. We want to drink plenty of water during this time period because it's when your body is going. You do not want to get dehydrated. And then injury prevention, resistance training, strength maintenance, mobility, glute activation, band work, those types of things to make sure you are preventing all and any types of injuries that you can. And then we have the transition period, which is 6 weeks long. So that in between time, right after season, until you start your postseason, which is a mental and physical reset. You have light activity only, walking, yoga, and you want to prepare your body in that transition period for the next cycle, which would be your post-season. Now I'm going to go into the sheet that I had created with all of the things on here. They are color-coded as well to match the calendar and the other charts you saw. Make sure you can see it. Okay. So to begin with, we have postseason. That's how I chose to do my charts to make it a little easier. So we have our warm-up, very, very important for soccer because you do not want to go into that type of high-intensity sport being cool, being not stretched, all those types of things. We have band work, calf sweeps, leg kicks, lunges, high knees, butt kicks. In the notes right here, I also have what it does for you. So it's reducing risk of injury / strengthening muscle, reducing risk of injury / mobility, getting prepared for practice game exercise, getting the body warm and prepared for those. Then power, speed, and agility is going to be easy jog, light soccer, juggling, hiking, casual sport. And it's going to be a light load, always stretch after. Then we have our resistance training right here. You have the goblet squat, the barbell bicep curl. You have lat pull down, split squat, glute bridge. And then in the notes, it is explaining to you what it is for, and or what you are focusing on or controlling. And then we have our sets and reps right here. We have our load, and then we have our rest time in between those sets. And then aerobic glycolysis, main postseason, pattern work to begin postseason from end of transition period, which you're preparing for that. And then we have our cool down. Very, very, very important to have a cool down. You always want to have a cool down because you don't want to just be done with practice and let those muscles get super tight. You want to make sure they're good and nice and stretched. So we have a slow walk, easy bike, or jog. Then you want to hold each stretch that you do for 20 to 30 seconds. So you have a hamstring stretch, quad stretch, calf stretch, hip flexor stretch, chest or doorway stretch, and lat stretch. Very, very, very important to get those stretches in after a practice, match, exercise, anything like that. Then we have our warm-up, same as always, but this video is going to demonstrate for you how to do a figure 4. Figure 4. Okay, so this video is going to explain to you how you are going to do this figure 4 stretch in your warm-up.
So this is going to be my sport-specific stretch, and we call these figure 4s. So what you want to do is you want to grab whatever leg you're stretching, you want to cross it over, you want to rest it on your knee, and then the closer you bring it to your body, the more of a stretch you're going to get. And then usually we just bend down a little bit to get a deeper stretch. So
that is going to be one of the stretches that it will demonstrate for you in your warm-up. And then we have our main postseason, which is a little different. It's going to be more like soccer based, so tempo runs, post max, working on 75% of your 1 rep max. And the load is going to be a low to moderate, not too much, because it is still postseason. So we're doing a bunch of lifting. Some core things are included in here. We have all of the days over here that we will be doing the resistance training, notes, sets and reps, load, and then how much time you are resting for as well. And then we're prepping at 75% to work back up to a new 1 rep max in squat, bench, trap bar, deadlift, those types of things. And then we have the off-season beginning part of it. You have your dynamic warm-up. As always, make sure you get that in. Then we have our speed, agility, and power as tempo runs and low-intensity jog. So those tempo runs are going to keep your heart rate steady. And you want to do it a low to moderate load. And then your low-intensity jog is going to be to maintain the low-level conditioning so that you're not losing all of that conditioning that you did throughout the whole entire year. And then resistance training is going to be a mix of a bunch of things. We are going to have some high, some low reps. Low to moderate is kind of the general idea of the off-season beginning. So you have your things like You have your core circuit, you have lifting, you have lat pull downs, you have cable rows, you have a bunch of different, more of like a full body type of resistance training when it comes to the off-season beginning. You have your notes here telling you to keep your core strong with all the core things. You want to pull back on the cable rows with your muscles, not your arms. You want to focus on stability and controlled depth when you're lifting. So it is just really helping you what to focus on and what to control whenever it comes to these resistance training workouts. And it has your rest times in between each set. It's very, very important to take those rest times so that your body can have a second to just readjust. You don't want to go. It could lead to an injury. Then we have our cool down, same as the other one. Always important to make sure you get that cool down stretch in. Even if you don't jog, you just need to make sure you are stretching. Very, very important. Then we transition into our off season, but we are including soccer with it. So we have the same warm up as always, but for speed and agility, power, speed, agility, we are doing hit runs and shuttle runs and then sprint repeats. So you're doing like the fartlek run, which is 3 minutes hard, 2 minutes easy, and make sure you're doing stretches after. And then for the shuttle run and sprint repeats, you're doing speed, acceleration, change of direction, focus. Make sure those are very, very important because soccer, you can't just not be fit, you know? You gotta make sure you're keeping that up. And this is when you're going to do like the Manu fitness test, the beep test, like active recovery after those because you don't want to overdo yourself. Then we have some lifting incorporated in here. We have some box jumps, some face pulls, and with soccer training is also included in here. So your practices are going to be included in the off season with soccer as well. And then this is going to be more of a heavy, moderate load season. So you want to make sure you're balancing out all of those different types of things that are in this part of the season. And then aerobic glycolysis is prepping for preseason and max power. And then you have your cool down. This one I added a gentle spinal twist for your back because you have some trainings and some liftings and some things for more of all over the place. So you also in the notes, you don't want to overstretch. Don't want to pull your back. Just keep it nice, calm stretch. Then we get into the preseason part. Very, very heavy. Very heavy for conditioning, especially. So you're going to get all your cardio here from practice. And you're going to do a bunch of speed and agility, which is going to be at max effort. Always stretch after is going to be a very heavy load for speed, agility, and power. Resistance training, on the other hand, is going to be all over the place. It's going to be max, light, heavy, body weight, because you are in preseason, so you want to make sure you are getting as fit, as strong as you can before that season, but also not overdoing your body while you are in this part of the season. Make sure you always rest between these resistance training. That is very important as well. And in this one, I do have a rollout because you do want to make sure you're rolling out your muscles with doing all those different types of things from practice, lifting, to circuits is very important. And then the aerobic glycolysis, preparing max strength for a long season. And then we have a cool down after. Same as the other ones. And then we go into our end season, which is going to be very light on the resistance training side of things. But it's going to be very, very heavy because you're going to have lots of games, which are 90 minutes each. And you're going to have a bunch of practices. So you want to make sure that you are maintaining your strength, but also making sure that you're taking care of yourself, stretching, eating, drinking water, making sure you're taking care of your body, not only for the fitness side of things, also the nutrition side of things as well. So this one we have a lot less lifting because in season you don't want to lift too much because that'll make your body more fatigued for the games that you have to play. So we have soccer practice included with this one as well. We have our notes to make sure that you're focusing on things and maintaining. Then we have our reps, our load, and then our rest time. And aerobic glycolysis is strength maintenance to help prevent injuries. Injury prevention in season is super, super important. Very big factor for making sure you are doing that injury prevention, even if it's just some band work. Very important, very helpful. Then we have our cool down, same as the other ones. And then we go into our transition period, which this period's a little weird sometimes for some people. It can help some people, it cannot help some people. You want to maintain that fitness that you created through the whole entire year, off season, post season, in season, preseason. This is right after season, so you don't want to lose that fitness, but you also want to give your body a chance to relax in this period. So you are going to do light stretching, yoga, which is recovery. But then you also have what you want to incorporate in there is your social sport or active hobby, like playing pickup or doing pickleball or things like that, just to make sure you're staying active. It doesn't have to necessarily be soccer, but just something that you enjoy that's a little fun sport, because I know sometimes I like to go play a little fun game of pickleball or something with my friends. So it's very, very nice. And then we have our walking or light bike for 10 to 20 minutes. Keep those muscles moving in those legs, keep blood flow going, making sure you're staying healthy and good. And that is all for the sheet for the resistance training, speed, agility, the big things. Then we go into the cardio side of things. This is going to be your cardio tracking log. I split it into the seasons that it is in. So we have, let me zoom in a little bit so we can see a little better. We have our postseason, which is going to be 50%, which is low to moderate, jog. You don't want to do too heavy in here for that cardio part. Off season, it's somewhat heavy and somewhat moderate. So you want to jog to maintain your fitness and conditioning. Then you have tempo runs, which is to keep the heart rate steady. And then you have the fartlek run, which is easy running combined with short bursts of speed, so that you are making sure you are maintaining that fitness level. We have the off-season with soccer, hit runs, beep test, jog. This is whenever you are like one of the highest points to make sure that you are very, very fit for that preseason and that in-season on the cardio side of things. Preseason, we have sprint agility, Cooper test, jog. Very important, because in season you are going to do those fitness testing so that the coaches see how fit you are. And you also, after that, you want to lower the percentage down a little bit so that you aren't overdoing yourself. And then we have the transition period, which is light, like I said before, on the other plan for cardio side of things as well. Very light, yoga, bike, social sports. Just keep that blood flowing, making sure you're recovering. And you have your heart rate, your targeted heart rate for each day is going to be the bolded black numbers, and your day percentage on how heavy that is going to be is in here in the yellow. So that is the cardio template for you. And then I'm just going to go over really quickly the athlete analysis. I did a 18-year-old female soccer player who training plan that I designed for her is to support her transition into a higher level competition. The primary goals for her are to continue improving her technical consistency, tactical awareness, and confidence on the ball, while also building a greater overall strength, power, and muscle mass to enhance her ability to win challenges, maintain stability during high-speed play. But at the same time, this program aims to elevate her athleticism by improving speed, acceleration, and movement efficiency, while keeping her aerobic endurance at a competitive collegiate standard. Some of her strengths: she has high cardiovascular endurance, good work capacity, strong technical foundation, disciplined training habits, which is very good when creating a plan for somebody, and excellent coachability. Her weaknesses, on the other hand, are lower body and upper body strength, can continue to improve, speed and maximal power, developed need further progression, and her overall physicality and confidence in contact situations can grow better to match the collegiate competition, because it's very, very important as a college athlete to have those features. But that is my meso and microcycle. I hope you enjoyed. Did my best with the technical aspect of things, but I think I did really well. I hope that you understand what this template was and everything in it. So I hope you enjoyed.